from Cambridge.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Premier, to the untrained eye, it has become impossible to determine whether your decisions of late are calculated or reek of indifference. Your Energy Minister initially refused to produce documents requested by the Standing Committee of this legislature. When a prima facie breach of privilege had been established, your government dug its heels before handing over blank, incomplete, and heavily redacted documents at the 11th hour. Time and time again, your government has refused to reconstitute committees to get on with the business of this legislature. So, Premier, which is it? Are you indifferent or calculated? Are you just the puppet master pulling strings behind the scenes, or have you just stopped caring about the province of Ontario that you were elected to lead?
You see it, please? You see it, please? Thank you, Premier.
Speaker to the Government House Leader.
Always good to be late, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let's review the last couple of months. Mr. Speaker, the Minister of Energy appeared in front of the Estimates Committee and made a case about two competing interests in terms of the documents that were in question. You ruled, Mr. Speaker, that government House leaders should sit down and find a way forward. And, Mr. Speaker, I came forward to my fellow House leaders with two pathways forward and a willingness to discuss, a willingness to compromise, and they said forget it. They didn't care about taxpayers' interests. They didn't care about any of the competing interests that was going out the window. So then what happened, Mr. Speaker, we had a debate here in this legislature where I gave notice to you and to the House leaders across the way, to every member of this legislature, that we wish to come forward with an amendment which would have charged the committee to look into the gas plant issue, to look into this issue of competing interests in front of committees. And what they did, Mr. Speaker, was reprehensible. They shut down debate. They did not allow us to participate. They did not allow us to move that amendment.
Thank you. Parliamentary.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the funny thing is no one believes that government actually respects taxpayers. And, Mr. Speaker, while we think that $650 million squandered on gas plants that aren't going to be built or haven't been built yet, to buy seats, instead of building hospitals, roads, bridges, schools, providing MRIs and cancer treatments, the reality is the reason why this contempt motion has been put forward is because they withheld documents and kept Ontarians in the dark. And all the while, Mr. Speaker, they haven't apologized, they haven't said I'm sorry, they haven't done anything to show that they aren't in contempt of this legislature. So my question to the Premier, if he has suddenly become sympathetic to the procedures of the Ontario legislature, why does he remain determined to prevent the opposition from seeking the truth? What are you afraid of?
Mr. Speaker, what we saw yesterday was a display of cynical, vindictive, partisan politics on the part of the opposition. Mr. Speaker, we gave notice to all members of this House that we wanted to move forward with an amendment to the motion, an amendment which would have charged the committee to look into a number of matters related to the gas plant, but at the same time would have not targeted an honourable member of this legislature. And, Mr. Speaker, the opposition did not even have the decency to allow us to introduce that amendment and allow us to have debate here. I think if anyone wants to apologize about the vindictive nature of this, it's that honourable member and his party across the way, along with their friends in the New Democratic Party.
Thank you.